Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that usually causes confusion for people. The difference between strategy and plan. These two sound almost the same, and mainly because we use a combination of both and we say strategic planning. Now these two are actually not the same, and one usually happens before the other. Do you know which one? Stay with me till the end of the video and you will know the difference between a strategy and a plan, and you'll know which one to use when. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is a strategy and how does it differ from a plan? A strategy is the overarching roadmap that guides the organization to achieve its long-term goals and objectives. Typically, that is done by analyzing our strengths and our weaknesses and looking for where the opportunities are and where do we face threat in the environment that we're in. And then we go and formulate the best approach that would help us tap into our strengths to capture those opportunities that would help us achieve our goals and objectives. Strategy sets the direction and the broad tactics that we need to follow so that we can get to the desired outcome that we aim for. And this is taking into consideration the market dynamics, the competition, resource availability and allocation, and resource meaning people and money and so on. It's the long-term view and how we want to get there. On the other hand, the plan is the detailed set of actions and tactics that we are going to follow in order to execute on our overarching strategy. So as such, you see the strategy happens first, and once we have it, we go and develop a plan to execute that strategy. Now the plan breaks down the strategy into who's going to do what, when, where, how, and so this is all mapped out into a massive set of activities that would have resources assigned to them, a timeline like a schedule, budgets allocated to them, and risks identified for those steps. Plans are typically focused on short to medium term objectives as opposed to strategy, which is focused on the long term objective. Plans involve identifying concrete tasks, timelines, allocating resources, and performance metrics to achieving those exact plans. Plans provide us with necessary structure and guidance to execute the strategy, ensuring that the organization stays on track to achieving its strategic goals. So where do we begin when we're developing a strategy or a plan? Let me help you break this down. I'm going to break this down to 5 steps that take you from strategy all the way to a plan. First step, you got to know yourself. You have to analyze your SWOT. What is SWOT? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We want to know what we're good at. Those are our strengths. We want to know what we don't do well, which is the weaknesses. And then we want to know where the opportunities are in the market and where the threats are coming from. Now, the best strategy or the best approach that you want to follow is look for those opportunities that are meaningful and in line with your organization's mission and vision. Meaning, if this is what we do, let's say we're a medical organization, we're in the medical field, or we are in lab research, then obviously we're looking for opportunities that either fall within that or are complementary to what we do. We don't want to go too far away, otherwise we lose our identity. So we're looking for these opportunities that match what we stated in our mission and our vision. And we're looking specifically for the opportunities that are aligned with the strengths that we have. And that would give us some leverage because we're good at it. And some of the strengths that we might have is that we have a lot of experience, or we are well connected, or we've been in the area for a very long time, or we are financially stable, and so on. So having these strengths and seeing that opportunities exist out there is where the strategy starts to be developed. We aim to capture opportunities with those strengths. Next, we develop our objectives or goals And those would have to be in line with our mission and vision. And like I said in point number 1, has to fit within our strengths and help us capture an opportunity. So some of these goals could be, we want to be number 1 when it comes to customer service, or maybe the benchmark of excellence when it comes to customer service, or maybe we are focused on innovation, or maybe we want to grow our market share, or maybe we want to break into a specific market or a segment of that market. Once we know our objective and we know what we're aiming for, then we go to step number 3. Who is our customer? Who are the stakeholders? Who are we trying to serve? What do they need from us? What would be the best approach for us to be able to provide them value? You need to provide the customer or your stakeholder with value adds for them to be drawn into your business or the product or service that you offer. So you need to analyze them. You need to know what it is that satisfies them, and you're looking for delighting your customer. Once you know what delights your customer, you go to step number 4, and that's where you need to develop a strategy that is in line with your organization's mission and vision that would serve these customers, delight them, and keeps your organization in the forefront of whatever product or service that you offer, and helps create some returns for your organization. Now that strategy could take different forms and shapes, and most of the time that strategy is developed using something called the balanced scorecard. You don't really have to do that, but the idea of the balanced scorecard is it looks at 4 things. It looks at what do my shareholders want at the highest level? That's the financial side. What do we need to provide as a value add to our customers so that they will buy more of our services or products that would help my shareholders make a lot more money? And for me to provide those value adds to the customer, what internal processes need to be adjusted, improved, so that we can provide that customer service? And for these internal processes to be developed, what sorts of growth do we need to have in our team, and so on. So these are the 4 perspectives that we would look at to develop the strategy. Out of that study, right, we come up with different actions that we want to take. An example would be, let's open 3 offices across the globe, 1 in Singapore, 1 in Switzerland, and maybe 1 more in New York, right? So we come up with these actions, statements that we want to execute on, and that takes us to step number 5, where we develop a plan for every one of these. Now once you get to the plan, these are going to be actionable steps that, if executed well and on time, would help you in achieving those goals at the higher level that would allow you to be whatever your goal or objective was. Now those plans are going to have actionable steps with timelines, with people or resources allocated to them, people, money, with assessments for risk, with tendering for vendors that you need to use, with consideration for standards, quality, and so on, and for what your stakeholders are going to require, with a lot of communication planning that needs to happen for sharing information about the project back and forth between you and your team. That is called a plan. They are actionable steps. They have deadlines. They have milestones. And these are usually assigned to someone like a project manager or a team lead that will drive that towards successful delivery. At the end of these projects or plans, once they're executed, you will now have an office in Singapore or Switzerland or New York as you originally planned. And by having those, you now have capabilities that allow you to go to the next step, which eventually leads you to have that extra market share that you were aiming for, or to reach that segment of the market that you were trying to get at. So you see how this flowed all the way from strategy all the way to a plan. First, we looked at what our strengths are and where the opportunities exist. Then we developed objectives to capture these opportunities. We looked at what part of it can we capture. And then we thought about who the stakeholders are that we're going to be serving in those specific markets. And then we thought about what is the best approach for us to be able to serve them. And we developed specific strategy by saying, let's open a office here and there and there. And those we had to create plans for so that we can execute on them. So it trickles all the way down from the strategy down to the specific plans or projects that we need to execute at the lowest level. Let's bring these concepts to life with a couple of real-life examples. Take company X, for example. They noticed a growing trend and demand for eco-friendly products, and they wanted to capitalize on this trend. So what was their strategy? To become a market leader in sustainable manufacturing. Their plan included investing in green technology, sourcing renewable products, and initiating a massive marketing campaign. The result? Increased brand loyalty and a competitive edge in the market for eco-friendly products. Now let's look at organization Y. They had noticed declining sales and increased competition, and they needed a turnaround strategy. What's their approach? To reposition their brand as a premium offering and to target high-end customers. Their plan included revamping their product line, improving their customer service, and then forging partnerships with very important partners. And what was the outcome? A revitalized brand image and a return to profitability. So you can see, we have a need, we develop a strategy that would help us achieve some outcome, eliminate a problem, capture an opportunity. The strategy is the approach, sets the long-term direction, and then to execute on the strategy, we go down to the level of planning where we create actionable steps that will be executed in a timely fashion so that we can achieve those long-term goals that we had. I hope this clears up the difference between strategy and planning, and I hope that you are able to take advantage of this on your next initiative. I'd like to know your thoughts on this, and if you have anything that you would like to add, please do that in the comment below, or if you have any questions, please let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share it with people who might want to watch the same. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button because I have a lot of content that relates to this same topic and related topics. Thank you so much for watching my video. Hope to see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.